Hello everyone, Dynamo here. Sorry for the wait on this review, but happy to be back on track. Before we begin, I want to inform you all that I will censor most of the adulterated imagery here because I know there's a good chance that YouTube will restrict this video anyways. Also, I want to avoid another channel strike because I posted some website links in the description box that this platform do not agree with, so please understand. Okay, let's do a short recap about Dollhouse chapter 1 through 5, then the characters, before we move on for chapters 6 through 9. What is Dollhouse is all about? It is an erotic visual novel about a small group of college girls and their lady professor discovering themselves through devious exploits. Though their naughty nature are hidden from the general public, these beautiful ladies attend a sanctum called the Dollhouse, a secretive and exclusive club where they can fulfill their pleasures and wildest fantasies. The Dollhouse is run by a young hacker named G-Host, real name Tobias, using high-tech gadgets to control and manipulate these girls' desires, making them into complete sleuths. Let's go over the characters real quick. We have the main protagonist, Amber, who has an innocent and conservative upbringing. She's also shy, but likes to be dominated. Then we have Dahlia, friend of Amber. She likes sports, embraces her individuality, she's quite adventurous, and is more hedonistic. Then we have Anna Brudeau, college professor, a bored trophy housewife by day, and a cheating deviant by night. And then we have Serena, a supporting character who occasionally appears in the visual novel. She has a Catholic upbringing. She is similar to Amber, but is more mean and into BDSM. And then finally, we have Tobias, aka G-Host, the leader of Dollhouse. He's an intelligent inventor, but has social anxiety. He's into voyeurism. To sum up Dollhouse chapters 1 through 5, the three main girls, Amber, Dahlia, and Anna, their participation in Dollhouse becomes more active as the story progresses. Each chapter unfolds reveals something about themselves. Doing so, their lusty activities caught attention to some not really bad guys, but not good guys either type of people. They invade and kind of messes up G-Host's world, spiraling things out of control. In short, Dollhouse comparison is like the early 2000s hentai films like Bible Black and Miso Forte, though that second part can be argued. Alright, since we got that out of the way, let's get on with the chapter 6. Chapter 6 is a continuation from part 5, where we explore more about Anna's past. In the opening scenes, she's in a club with the usual girls, while she's getting her groove on with a DJ named Lena. However, moments later, Lena kills Anna's mood and makes her angry and she storms off. Quickly later, Anna gets her freak on with two nerdy fellas from the same club. Throughout 2/3 of the story, Anna goes on a threesome with the boys. And in this chapter, in terms of style and color, I noticed that there is a lot of red layer overtones and Gonzo style frame shots. For those unfamiliar with Gonzo style, they are close-up shots with wide angle views. And with that said, they highlight Anna's voluptuous proportions and bosoms. Now chapter 7. The aftermath of Anna and the conclusion to her arc, plus some story progression with G-Host and the Dollhouse itself. Once Anna leaves the nerdy boys, she takes a car lift service ride, heading home. Anna's husband, Adrian, finds out of her sexual habits and locks her out of her home. Anna takes revenge by getting it on with the driver. On the other end of the story, we see Tobias and Lena talking and wondering about the absence of Anna. Good thing Tobias is good with tech. They track her down using this special headgear that enables Tobias to mindjack people to open a world of possibilities within. His target is Adrian. And to describe this next scene, a lot of exploitative stuff happens in several pages, so I'm skipping that part. Finally, in the end of this chapter, Anna and Adrian rekindle their relationships and he accepts her for who she is. Okay, so I would say that in my opinion, I am not into cuckold or NTR genre. Sorry people, I'm just not into them. But I gotta admit, the author does an excellent job of pacing between two different stories into a singular narrative. There are some back and forth drama between multiple characters, and I think the author does a fairly good balance at it. Next, chapter 8. In this segment, the story takes place with a small time jump about a few weeks ahead from the previous event. Here, Tobias is weakened and somewhat bedridden from using the helmet that was used on Adrian. He's in a facility, trapped, created by his supposed father, a mad scientist named Leonard, and his partner in crime, Warner. The two men seek the whereabouts of this dollhouse. Their goal is to exploit and use it for their own benefits. That part remains unclear. Leonard and Warner captures and imprison Amber and Dahlia. They drug the girls and using shock collars to deprive them of having an orgasm. The men interrogate the girls using, well, highly aggressive sexual methods to make them succumb, but not really come. This whole chapter goes on for the next dozen or so pages by utilizing a lot of BDSM, group stuff, double, triple, penta, you know what I'm saying, and gangbangs and all that. Finally, the girls breaks and they go on to their next target, Anna. In my opinion about chapter 8, this was a very interesting one because it explores a lot of weird and extreme themes like voyeurism, exhibition, torture, and heavy drug use. By far the most extreme chapter in my opinion. I also noticed the thematic colors layered in chapter 8, the color green, in which green represents greed and envy, which I thought was pretty fitting due to the antagonists Leonard and Warner who want the dollhouse for themselves. Chapter 9. I am going to go over this one really fast because it's nothing but pure naughty scenes, one after the next. Basically, Dahlia and Serena go and interrogate Anna and force her to join the newly restructured dollhouse by Leonard and Warner. To put it simply, there is a lot of pumping, humping, and dumping between all three ladies. Their whole end scene becomes a wet mess, and I mean that in a good way. And then we move on to the story, we have Tobias and Amber. Here, Amber is being manipulated against her own will to subdue Tobias to get him to confess more information about the dollhouse. However, Tobias is having some sort of schizophrenic episode, having a split personality disorder. He becomes G-host without the helmet this time. What causes him to have this episode was the constant use of the helmet and for long periods of time, thereby damaging his mind. But in the process, it also reinvigorates him as a person. It unlocks something inside him. He becomes more aggressive, assertive, and ambitious. The end scene in this chapter between G-host and Amber ends in a nasty finish that I dare not describe. So, for chapter 9, I highly believe the artist just went all out with this one with a bang, pun intended. While it may not be extreme like chapter 8, part 9 showed a lot of talent from the artist because of his attention to anatomy, body perspective, framing the composition nicely, and coloration. He blends colors extremely well in this chapter. You can also tell that this artist takes a lot of inspiration from adult films, especially the Gonzo style shots that I mentioned. Overall though, I give Dollhouse chapter 6 through 9 an A+. Extremely well done, magnificent. Looking forward to the next story. Thank you all for watching, Dynamo out.